As Mark Dantonio is wont to say, in this state, you're either blue or you're green. But the last 3 years, it's been all green in this rivalry. In 2008, Spartans won 35-21 thanks to a dominant fourth quarter. Game was tied after 3 quarters, but MSU scored the final 14 points for the win thanks to Javon Ringer's 194 rushing yards. Afterwards, Mark Dantonio said, "I'll go on record as saying this one counts as more than one." In 2009, 60 minutes wasn't enough. Tate Forcier threw 2 fourth-quarter touchdown passes, including the final one to Roy Roundtree with 2 seconds left on the clock to force OT. In overtime, freshman Larry Caper had the winning 23-yard touchdown run, 26-20 Spartans in overtime. Then last season, both teams entered undefeated. Only the green and white remained so. Denard Robinson had 3 picks on the day, 2 in the red zone, and MSU won 34-17, giving them 3 wins in a row over Michigan for the first time since the mid-1960s. The latest version takes place Saturday in East Lansing, and that's where we head now for our next guest. Dom Capers first called him Dino. You can call him Coach Dantonio. He joins us now. And Coach, you've told me in the past you refer to this rivalry with Michigan as a game of emotions. How so?
Well, I think everybody, first of all, the first thing they figure out when they come here that it's an important game. You know, it's an interstate game, so, you know, a lot of our players, I think we have 61 players from the state of Michigan here, so it gets personal very, very quickly as you move into the games throughout your career. And then also, I think if you've coached here, you know, you compete against them every single day. You know, in the conference, in the state, you're on a lot of the same type of players. And, so, you know, it's just one of those things you deal with.
You have won 3 straight against Michigan, but clearly this is a different team with a different head coach, different players, etc. From what you've seen, how specifically is this Michigan team different this year?
Well, I think they're playing with a lot of confidence on defense. That's number one. You see them play extremely hard. I think they're tied well together. You know, offensively, you know, Denard is still the guy that makes it work, but they've got a lot of other players involved in the offense. You know, certainly, you know, Hemingway and Roundtree, and you know, Jeremy Gallen's making a lot of plays, and then they're getting their different running backs in there. But you know, what I've seen them be able to do, you know, is you know, they continue to play throughout the entire game, and you know, when they get down there, you know, they'll just stay with it and come back usually.
You mentioned Denard, and he's tough to slow down, although you guys did a pretty good job of it last year. What did you learn from last year's game against Michigan as the best way to try to slow him down?
Well, you know, you have to look at him as a guy that can take a bad play and make it a good one. So you're really, even if you have it all defended correctly, you know, you got to keep him penned in. A little bit like, you know, when I was at Ohio State and we played in the Fiesta Bowl against K-State, a lot of the same type of things that they're doing there, really Michigan is doing now. A little bit more power than spread type things. They're running quarterback powers and such, you know, pulling the guard and different things, but they're creating 2-back runs a little bit with one-back formation. So it's a very well thought out, very well designed, and you see a lot of the things that they've done in the past that he's been good at as well. So I think they have the full package right now.
What's the key to improving the run game the rest of this season?
I think our run game, you've got to be able to run through some tackles on Saturday. Certainly there's going to be some times where it's jammed up, and we've got to be able to run through it, as well as, you know, we've got to block them. They've got various fronts. They're getting some bare fronts and, you know, cover all 3 players on the inside and bring some pressure. I think Greg Madison's done a nice job there, creating, as much as anything, the confidence of their football team is very high right now. And when you're a confident football team, you know, good things can happen for you.
Before we let you go, let's turn to your defense. You've had a pretty good seat to watch them. 4 of the 5 games have given up 7 points total or less. How come?
I think we're tackling well in space. We've got guys who can play the ball in the deep part of the field right now, so we're coming up with some turnovers. Coach Narduzzi and her staff have a great we have a great scheme. You know, schematically we're well tied together. It fits who we play against. You know, we can adapt it at certain times, so that's a positive. And our guys believe in themselves, much like I just talked about. You know, confidence breeds success. So we're a confident football team right now on defense. I think we are as an offense as well, and special teams as well. And it's going to be interesting come Saturday. So we're looking forward to it.
Mark Dantonio, always nice talking to you. Best of luck this weekend. Thanks for the time.
All right. Thanks a lot, Mike.